What's up everyone, welcome to Kai's channel. Today we'll be reviewing this, my favorite character in the series and her beloved Evangelion Unit 02 from the Metal build. Throughout the video, I'll be referring to the review that I have done for the Unit 01 as there's a lot of similarity between the two, so if you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out. To begin with, let's take a look of the accessories right out of the box. Just like the Evangelion Unit 1, more than half are for the base stand. You have the base of the stand right here in the center, and also you have these vertical poles for the hanger. On the left, you have the shoulder piece right here, as well as the optional headpiece here next to it, the optional hands here at the side, the umbilical cables right here diagonally placed it, as well as the rest of them are for the weapons, which we'll get into details later on. As for the bottom of the center layer, you have the thigh weapon rack for you to equip the weapons, as well as the power plug right here also existed. And the other ones are the joint points for you to equip the weapons onto the weapon rack. So before we move on, just want to pause a little bit here because I've noticed that the leg and the ankle armor that exists in the Unit 1, there's actually no trace in it here in the Unit 2 at all, which is extremely weird if you ask me. And I don't really understand the logic behind this since I was thinking that they would standardize most of the basis accessories like the additional cyber eye visor that we've seen in the Unit 1. So for people who are expecting the leg and the ankle armor for the Unit 2, you might just have to get them from the Unit 1. Anyways, let's move on. Starting off with the main body. First, we equip the shoulder part first. Like the Unit 1, the shoulder piece here is two separate pieces and cannot be opened up to store weapons. So the same rotation issues that we've seen in the Unit 1 also exists here on the Unit 2 as well. Also, something that I didn't realize until after I uploaded the video for the Unit 1 is that the back of the shoulder piece here must be jammed in with quite a force so that you can insert it fully and correctly. Otherwise, you will have trouble docking the shoulder onto the hanger later on. Just make sure you check that. To start off, the paint looks amazing without a doubt. The bright metallic red captures your attention right off the bat. The white decals line is much more apparent here than it is on the Unit 1. The shoulder and arms color is black and orange here, very different from the anime of it as white as well. But this recoloring matches the overall appearance, so I think it's done pretty well. However, there is a glossy white paint over the surface of the red that's supposed to make it shine under the light. But if you notice, I think they actually overdid it a bit because sometimes under a certain angle, it reflects too much. Overall, the head design follows the one from the TV series. As you can see, the tip of the head does not have the two horns that they do in the rebuild version, which I think it would have looked a lot better if they actually followed it. The tip of the head and the mouth, if you can actually call that a mouth, can be opened up like it is in Berserk mode, which will reveal the eyes within it. Also, same with the Unit 1, you should follow the instruction manual to remove the red throat parts for extra mobility of the head. Although this one in the Unit 2, without removing it, you can still open up the mouth part very smoothly without any interference. However, removing the red part would allow the head to turn a lot more in angles. The chest piece and the tip of the shoulder is completely different design from the Unit 1. As well as you can see that in the chest piece, there's also the Nerf logo and also the words Evangelion underneath it, just like the Unit 1 has. Just like the Unit 1, the arms can move quite a bit. Just be careful that the different parts do not clash with each other so that it will cause the paint to rub off. Just keep that in mind. The torso side plate can also be taken off for more agilities. That's the same as on the Unit 1. The thigh part can be opened up to equip the weapon rack, which we'll be covering later. So here are the weapons for the Unit 2. Starting from the top, you have here, it's the shoulder needle launcher. You have one for each side, left and right, so you can equip it onto the shoulder, both at the same time. As well as here on the right, you have two of the same identical progressive knife. In the center, you have also, it's what's called the progressive knife as well, but it's the foldable blade version. You have one that's with the blade out and the other one's without it. As for the bottom, you have here is the Thunder Spear. On the left, you have is the Pellet Rifle. Starting with the guns, you have the same redesigned Pellet Rifle with the removable magazine gimmick as you've seen in the Unit 1. Since this Pellet Rifle is the exactly same as the Unit 1, you can actually make good use of the Unit 1's option parts such as the gun blade, the grenade launcher, as well as the long barrel parts to equip onto this Pellet Rifle. While the other one is the Thunder Spear, that the Unit 2 strike but blocked it by the rebuilt version of the 10th Angel's AT field in the second movie at the jail front, just before getting shredded by it. The Thunder Spear's blade part can be folded backwards and the back handle can be slided forward to become a much more compact in size. Also, the orange part, which is the battery of the weapon, can be removed from it, which is pretty neat and very detailed. Next we have are the knives. There's two types of progressive knives, which I mentioned earlier, which is the normal blades type and the folding blade type. The normal type, which came with two, it's one that we have first seen when all three Eva was trying to stop the rebuilt version of the 8th Angel that's coming from space in the second movie. And the Unit 2 pulled these two out from the shoulder weapon holder and attacked the core with it. The design, from what I can tell you, is almost the same, if not exactly the same design in the movie version. These also come with a scale board for both of the knives for you to attach onto the shoulder of the Unit 2. As for the folding blade type, this is first seen in the TV version where Shinji and Asuka both onboarded onto the Unit 2 to fight the TV versions of 6th Angel out on the ocean, and is used it throughout the TV series. You'll probably remember it if I posted like this. Very iconic, right? This knife has two versions, which is with and without the blade extended out, exactly the same as it is in the TV anime version. As for the shoulder needle launcher, this weapon is actually first seen in the old movie version, the end of Evangelion, where Unit 2 fights off the White Eva series, but you probably remember it best from the scene in the second movie of the rebuilt version, where the Unit 2 attacks with the Thunder Spear and was blocked by the rebuilt version of the 10th Angel's AT field. Right after that, the Unit 2 fires these needles from within the shoulder weapon holder. Obviously, this metal build holder cannot store them internally, so you have this redesigned to be external. On standby, it is set on its side horizontally, but once engaged, it will flip up all the way to the front so that it can fire it out. As for the height option parts, it actually comes in two types. One is with and without the visor. Not sure why they actually have two completely separate pieces, but the one without the holes is the one that has a headset like for the Unit 2. Like it's wearing a headphone. Which is a little weird, so I'm not sure what you guys think, but I'm not going to put it onto it. The other one is the one with the visor. This head part, similar to the Unit 1, is supposed to provide a futuristic cyber-looking visor. And to my surprise, this isn't as bad as I think it was compared to the Unit 1. This one's actually quite acceptable. What do you guys think? Last but not least is the base. The base stand, the bottom of it says EVA 02 product model, and it has a big 02 labeled on it. And it can display again like a normal stand, as well as can be a hanger with the umbilical cable and the power plug that connects to the EVA as well. Another thing I noticed while we watching the rebuilt movie version was the side of the hanger design is actually the same as the rail EVA transport unit which you see in the movie, which makes this even more special on the hanger for fans like myself. This metal build is also a definite must-have piece for anyone who likes the EVA series. The looks is amazing, and they got the weapon appears in the movie so you can recreate certain scenes from it, both the TV version as well as the rebuilt movie version. So that's it for today's review. If you guys have any questions or comments, be sure to put it in the comment section below. Also, be sure to hit that like button if you like this video, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. And I'll be really appreciated if you do. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.